Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Instacart launches Fizz, a group ordering app for party drinks and snacks. So as we all know, Instacart is a long-standing gig platform that has been a way for gig workers to make money where you shop and deliver for specific items, and a lot of times can lead to larger tips. Personally, if I can gain the same amount of money through alcohol delivery as I would through any other method of delivery, then it's fine. That has always been my preference, is alcohol delivery on Instacart. The item counts are lower and the tips are just as high in my experience. That also said, Instacart is now launching Fizz, which is a new way for us to either get more orders or maybe there's a new opportunity here. I didn't read the article itself, so we will see. So with that said, we are talking about everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Instacart is launching a new standalone app called Fizz, designed for groups to order snacks and drinks ahead of parties for a flat $5 delivery fee. While it's not surprising that they're making an app specialized in party preparation, I'm a little surprised that they're building a separate platform outside of Instacart. Like, is that the move that a lot of these gig companies are making? Instead of building out their own marketplace further, they're just making another marketplace. I feel like that's the move that a lot of these companies are taking. DoorDash is buying out a bunch of marketplaces. Instacart is building another marketplace. It's insane to me. And not to mention buying out gig platforms itself. It is wild in my opinion. That said, let's take note for a second. $5 delivery fee. How much of that is actually going to the gig worker? Who knows? The platform, developed in collaboration with the hugely popular event invite app Partyful, enables partygoers in the 30 US states where alcohol delivery is legal to add items to a shared cart from nearby participating stores. Instead of splitting the bill, each user is prompted to pay only for what they added, with the option to include a tip for the shopper. I feel like this is a way for Instacart to not pay their shoppers as much. Like, this is gonna be where the Instacart shopper app is gonna start dropping the base pay further than it already has. Watch. After they chopped it from 20 to 7 to 4, I would not be surprised, especially in this economic situation. Back in February, Instacart's chief product officer, Daniel Danker, approached Partyful CEO Shreya Murthy about partnering on the app. The teams began development in earnest in March, with Danker creating artificial intelligence and mutual enthusiasm for the app's progress. Oh boy, AI created applications. Love that. Look, I am all for the concept of faster progress, especially with AI, but a lot of these bigger companies tend to cut corners when it comes to this stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of things fall through the cracks sooner rather than later. There aren't a lot of consumer apps being built these days, and there aren't a lot of people solving some of these really core needs for customers in a simple and delightful way, Danker tells Fast Company. Because a lot of these consumer apps that people quote-unquote like so much are people that are tired of the bullshit. Like, really think about this for a second. A lot of the customers that gig workers deal with on the regular, there are a significant amount of them trying to scam the system. And a lot of those people have habits that good people also have for reasonable reasons, and there's a lot of discourse between gig workers and consumers now. And not to mention, people don't like customers right now. There's so much more money in a business-to-business relationship than a business-to-consumer one. That's just reality. There's a reason why most online marketplaces are being bought out by the bigger players now, because the only people not tired of it are the ones at the very, very top. Murthy says she was intrigued by the opportunity to address the common challenge of figuring out what to bring to a party and finding time to pick it up. Think about the last time you went to a house party. There was probably this implicit social expectation for you to bring a bottle of wine or pack of beer, Murthy says. As for me, as a guest who would go to parties, this was actually kind of annoying because I'd forget, and I can't show up to this party empty-handed. We basically productized BYOB, she adds, referring to bring your own bottle. Let the record show what she just said is you forgot to be a decent person and bring something to the party, and therefore you feel bad about being a decent person. To be honest, that's a really harsh way to put it. Like, I don't like to go to parties empty-handed. I don't like to go to events empty-handed personally, and I always make it a point to do that. I guess if I had the opportunity to set something for pickup as opposed to shopping for it myself, it would save a lot of time, but that's another problem in itself. I would prefer to just set it for pickup, not set it for delivery. If it is set up that way, how will this go? Are you going to say, hey, we need this all added for the shopping cart? Can you guys add these things so a shopper can pick it up? And then it gets bulk dropped off, and then all of the tips conglomerate into one order? Because if that's the case, okay, this is a group of people that have multiple opportunities to tip their shopper. I think there is a lot of money to be made that way specifically. Because it's not one person being a decent human being. It's a group of people that need to be decent human beings. And even if one person decides to shortchange everybody else, that's how it is. Instacart is one of the biggest players in the gig economy. It went public in September 2023, and its shares have risen nearly 53% since then. Partyful, launched in 2020, has also seen rapid growth. It reported a 600% increase in user activity in 2024 and was named one of Fast Company's most innovative companies of 2025. Why do I feel like that is just brown-nosing a company? Why is Instacart being treated as a favorite here? Out of all the gig companies, they are the most frustrating to me. Why are they getting special treatment by Fast Company? I don't know. I feel like that's shady to me. Fizz incorporates Partyful's web-friendly design, meaning users don't need to download the Fizz app to place orders. Yeah, about that, I just Googled Fizz, the drinks and snacks app, and I'm not seeing it. So either I don't have this in my area, or they're just full of crap. Heck, if you even go to fizz.com, Fizz.com, it's just gonna give you a QR code to download the app. So that's a flat lie right off the bat. I don't know, I think there's a level of bias coming from Fast Company towards Instacart right now. Party hosts can either start a chat, share the link in the group chat, or create a typical Partyful invite and toggle the group order option to generate a shared cart on the event page. Guests can then add their items and see what others have selected. Each person pays for their share while the host schedules the delivery fee and pays the $5 fee. And that way it's all in one single order. So I get the consumer value here. I just hope that consumer value translates to the gig worker who's putting in the work to get all of these items for the party to the customer and gets a decent payday. That's what I really hope for here. Fizz orders will be fulfilled by Instacart Shoppers. Danker notes that the more items in the cart, the more shoppers will earn. He also anticipates higher tips due to the low delivery fee. If people didn't feel like they spent a bunch on fees, he said, then they feel really generous when it comes to the tips. Why do I feel like that's gonna backfire so fast? First off, if a shopper is getting a lot of items in a single order and it's only one $5 fee, how are you paying the shopper? Through tips. That is going to be the major point. So if somebody doesn't believe in tipping, or it's not their responsibility to tip you or to get a real job, suddenly that person doesn't actually make more. That's just lip service for the gig worker. Also, think about this for a second. This is how all gig apps started. Either very low or very minimal delivery fees, where the prices got higher and the amount they were paying out was lower. That is reality. So it may start that way, it may not stay that way. Just so you guys know that. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I am not upset with the possibility of this being a thing. I think this is the closest thing to a catering opportunity through grocery apps as you can possibly get without it being a catering opportunity. I wonder how they're going to implement this on the shopper side. Like, is it going to be pre-scheduled orders and they let people know the day before so they could pre-schedule themselves for that period of time? Or are they just going to be treated like every other order on the Instacart system? The only thing I am truly bummed about with this whole thing is the concept that Fizz is not going to have their own shopper app or their own opportunity for gig workers. Because like I said in almost every video, you should have a diversified gig portfolio. I'm glad that Instacart's going to have another way to make money, because that means there's going to be more orders available on Instacart in a way that's not contrived, and it's not you're hoping that this one customer is going to tip more. It's a bunch of customers coming together for this order. And that is a good thing in my opinion, because there's a lot of more opportunities for quality tips that way, especially for alcohol delivery and parties. Don't get that twisted. But I think it should be a way for gig workers to make more money. And outside of the idea that we're entering a generation where less people are drinking alcohol these days, I think it's a great way for gig workers to make some more money in a growing gig economy. But while Fizz may not be accepting gig workers for themselves, there are ways for gig workers can diversify their gig portfolio elsewhere, and we talk all about that in the Driven Wyld Discord server. The Driven Wyld Discord community is exclusive for gig workers looking to expand their knowledge and expertise in their self-employment and entrepreneurial journeys. I've partnered with high-level professionals to bring you some of the most exclusive benefits based on your personal needs as a gig worker. Exclusive professional opportunities and gig postings, more live streams with high-level professionals in our industry, educational systems designed to help you build your own dispatch company, as well as other scalable opportunities. Speaking of, we have your build your own delivery service provider course available now, and we are changing the game and transforming how gig workers get more opportunities and how restaurants do business with others. So whether you're a gig worker looking for more opportunities to earn, or you're looking for an exit strategy because the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not simply the goal, and you would like to see something with growth potential and scalability, there's something here for you. Check the link in the description and get started with making the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. We are excited and looking forward to helping you secure your financial future. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.